What's going on, guys? My name's Nick.
My name's Cole.
And this is ChainGang Disc Golf. All right, guys, what's going on? Today we're sitting in my house because it's pouring rain outside, and we tried to get out and shoot a video, but we got soaked. So we decided it's time to maybe do a little in the bag, just something quick because our bags are always changing, and we're trying out a lot of new discs, but we're just going to give you something real quick. So, all right, so first we're going to both start with our putting putters. I putt with Lunas. When I first started, I started putting with Lunas, and I loved it. And then when I moved down to Florida, I changed to the Nomads because I got into this like huge MVP phase, and I couldn't putt. Not that I can putt now, but I really couldn't putt. So then I decided to just buy a couple Lunas, and I went back to it, and I love it. So I've just been buying Lunas, and I'm trying to get enough that way I can just go sit outside and practice because I definitely need practice. So those are my two putting putters that I use.
Yeah, my putting putters are the Nomads. They're actually from Nick for helping me putt because I was putting with the PA4, but I only have one, and it helps a lot if you actually have two discs to putt with. So you can throw, and if you miss, reanalyze, throw again, just to help you out a little bit. Just so
He was throwing his PA4 too, like for
yeah,
approach shots. And I'm like a firm believer that you got to have literal putting putters, and that's the only reason you use them. So obviously, like I have actual throwing putters, and it was driving me crazy that he kept
right,
throwing that PA4 and then he was putting with it.
yeah.
So I said we got to get him some new putters.
Right. And also retrospect as well, like I've said before in previous videos, I'm 3 months in, he's 3 years in. So our bags, they're going to be similar, but they fly different for both of us. We both have different forms, different techniques of how we throw. So I'm going to try to see if I can put it in retrospect for any type of new beginners that want to try to throw. The disc that I started throwing when I first started, that helped me out learn better form and actually helped me understand the stability of a disc and how they need to be thrown.
He's making it seem like I'm the greatest disc golfer. I'm really not that good, but I do have about 3 years. But I really started taking it serious just recently. But after that, we got throwing putters, which so basically with both of our bags, we carry a lot of discs, but we don't throw a lot of discs. I don't know
Not
if
at all.
it's not all for show. I don't want to say that. I just have an obsession with buying stuff and then I throw it once and I'm like, I don't really like it. So then it kind of sits in my bag until I buy something new and I kick it out. But basically, I got the Watt. It's a 2.5, negative 0.5, 0.5, and basically it kind of holds any line. I don't throw a lot of turnover shots, but that's kind of what it would be used for. So I was starting to throw that until I switched to the Proxy, which I had a Proxy, but it was the base plastic, and I didn't really like it. But this is pretty much dead straight, and it will kind of turn right depending on how I throw it. So I started getting into that, and then obviously I got an Envy, a Glow Envy. And these two work really well together. If you see anyone that throws MVP, they got both a Proxy and an Envy. So I got both of those, and that's basically all I use for putters for throwing.
Yeah, so how Nick just said that he used to have a base plastic Proxy. Well, this is the base plastic Proxy that he had.
A lot of Kelly's discs are my old discs that I said I'm gonna buy a new one. So here, take it. I won't ever use it.
Same with the Envy. I actually just got this a few minutes ago by Nick. Again, this is actually the what is this?
That's a Neutron Envy.
Neutron
Yeah.
Envy. Of course, I haven't thrown it yet. Just got a little bit ago. But for beginners and stuff like that, Envy and Proxy, very good discs to start out with.
Especially base plastic.
Yes, base plastic. They beat in pretty nice, but if you smack a tree a couple of times, they're done. But
yeah, Kelly started to outgrow him. I could tell he's just been working on his form.
yeah,
And he's been throwing a lot better. So I figured it was time for him to maybe step up, and he's going to have something that's going to last a little longer, and it's going to hold true to what it's supposed to fly like.
right.
So I figured that was a good thing for him to have. Especially we play a lot of courses. We definitely play a lot of short tees, but a lot of the courses around here they're I don't know maybe 250 and in on a lot of holes. So 7 out of 10 times you're either pulling a putter or a mid.
Right.
So he needed something, kind of reliable that he could take off the tee. And I think the Envy is the best choice. If anyone's got anything else that they think they would throw other than that, I know people throw Lunas, but I've never even held a Luna that's premium. And I don't know. The Envy does the trick for me. So.
I mean, that was even kind of like what we were bringing up before. The PA4, it works fantastic for me. It's a 3.3. I think it's a -1.1.
Ghetto. He's got his stuff written on the back.
I do, because it doesn't say it on the front.
But it flies dead straight.
It dead straight. It doesn't fade, doesn't turn, straight as can be. It's actually a really good disc. It's a little beat in, but it's really not that bad. But yeah.
So that wraps up our throwing putters. We both bag a zone,
yes.
Which I use strictly. I want to throw it backhand, but it just does not. It don't fit in my hand right. And then on top of that, I don't like the flight. But like on a little forehand upshot from like 150 or in, it's money. I mean, I put it on Annie, and it flexes hard, and it's always right by the basket. So that's definitely basically my only approach disc is going to be, what's it, the Z. We're learning plastics and all sorts of things. There's so much in disc golf.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if it's just a different type of plastic that zone and this zone has, but this zone flies totally different from his. This actually flies pretty straight, and then it makes a sharp left turn if you throw a backhand. I actually like this disc if I need to cut around a tree or something like that for a backhand throw.
You got to think our max throws are, I don't know, what was mine the other day? It was like 369, and right. Kelly's right around like the 330 range.
Right.
So we're really not throwing very far. So any hole that we're stepping up to 400 foot plus. I mean, obviously we're throwing drivers on 300-foot holes.
Right.
So these are mainly a lot of the courses we play. We play short tees, so this is what we use a lot of that for. I don't know where I was going with that, but
hopefully as time progresses, we will start throwing longer, with the longer tees and stuff like that, and honestly getting better. We have been watching other players play and watching how they throw and stuff like that, like Robbie C, Foundation, Bodanza, especially when he was training with
Drew Gibson.
Yeah, Drew Gibson and stuff like that. We were watching a lot of that just so we can get our form down and make better content for y'all.
Yep. We're thinking about doing doubles too, because we don't want to be doing the same stuff over and over again. Because Floral City is like our home course. It's basically like 30 minutes from the house, and right. I mean, it's got 24 holes, so you can do a lot there, but we don't want to be there every week. So I mean, we're about 45, 50 north of Tampa, so there's a lot of courses in Tampa, but I mean, basically when we're working all the time, we just try to go out real quick and shoot a quick video. So we're gonna try and switch it up, maybe do like a long tee doubles and best shot, and then play with each other and see if we can, pick up our scores.
And then, even maybe a little bit further down the road or whatever, we actually have other friends that come by that do play, and maybe we'll play like Imposter and stuff like that. Just throw in different games and stuff like that to keep y'all entertained.
I got to figure these mics out, though, if we're going to have more people.
That's the only thing that sucks about it.
But, all right, so moving on from approach discs, we got mids, which I have two, one mold. I can't get down with mids. They don't feel great in my hand. I mean, aside from this one disc, I got this one disc. Well, I got two of them, but the hex feels so good in the hand. It feels like I'm holding the driver. It's so comfortable, and they do two different things. So this Neutron hex, it started out, they were both overstable, and then this beat in quick, and now it's not unusable, but it definitely carries to the right a lot. So I don't like to pull this out unless I really need to go right, but this is like my workhorse is the Glow Hex. It feels great. It flies great. It's straight when I need it to be. It'll be overstable if I need it to be. If I put it on Annie, it'll hold most of the way and then come back. So it's just an all-around, it's a great disc. And that's the only mid-range that I've found that I'm comfortable holding in my hand. And I know Kelly kind of feels the same way.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because I have this hex right here. But honestly, if I really want a good straight flying disc and I know that's how it's going to fly, I actually throw the Paradox. It's actually a 5.4 -40. A very good beginner disc, because a lot of new beginners, when they throw, they actually release on hyzer. What it does is when it flies, if you have a good speed on it, it just flips right back up and it'll go straight and it'll start to die down left
Yep.
or actually die down right, depending on your speed. Other than that, I actually have this Tangent. Very good mid range. They actually don't make them anymore, but I think it's the pretty much just an older style hex.
It's the same numbers as the hex.
Literally the same exact numbers. Besides, this is a 5.5 negative half and half. So
it flies dead straight.
Dead straight. Never, whatever angle you put it on, it's gonna fly that way. Very good. I also believe a very good beginner disc as well if you can find one. And then yeah, again with the hex, very good reliable disc. I have no problems with this hex at all. I do want to say this Paradox was also given to me by Nick. Shout out to Nick too because he also dyed it. Friggin'
yeah, that came out nice.
It's a beautiful disc.
Basically any disc aside from this one you see, I dyed and I got into the habit of it and I love it.
Yeah.
I was gonna start selling them, but then I don't know. We work a lot, so it's tough for me to keep up on doing it, but I do it for fun. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot more coming up because I have a couple in my bag that I dyed.
Yeah.
That actually came out really good.
Yeah.
So what are we at? We're at fairway drivers basically. We got a lot of 7-speeds. We both throw 7-speeds. I like the 7-speed rim. It feels nice. But I don't throw them a lot. So I got a river. I bought the river. I'm not going to show this die because it really didn't come out that good. I guess I will. So, yeah. I tried to do like everyone does online with the actual like river look, and it didn't come out like that. But when I throw this disc, I feel like I just like over rip it every time. And I don't know if it's the mold because a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about it. And I know it's a good disc. I mean, 7 Glide, it definitely wants to stay in the air. But I just feel like I'm over ripping it, and I don't get clean releases on it. So I don't know. I mean, it's gonna stay for now, but I don't know if I even need it because I also have an FD, a C-line FD, and this plastic feels incredible. And it's got a 6 Glide. It's a little overstable. It's not crazy. If I put a little, typically, I don't know. I've been working on my form a ton, and I've been changing a lot of stuff up. And before I was throwing with a lot of hyzer, and now that I kind of switched my form, everything comes out on an angle. So for a right-handed backhand thrower, it'd be anhyzer. And this goes pretty straight, but it definitely finishes hard. So the FD is something I want to throw more often, but typically I'm either jumping to a distance driver or I'm throwing the hex because the range of my throws is not that significant. And then the last thing I got, which I dyed, which this thing is gorgeous, is the Athena. And when I first got it, I loved it. It was overstable, but it flew straight, and pushed, and then it would finish at the end. But I don't really throw it much anymore, but the die is sick, so I don't think I want to take it out of my bag just because it looks good. But that's all I got for 7 speeds. So I'll let Kelly get into it.
Yeah, so I got of course more MVP. I don't know what it is, but
I was gonna say, so we were playing one day. There's this little place called the Quarry near us. It's just like this little old golf course. No tee pads, nothing. We used to play there all the time. I'm not really a fan of it anymore. But one day I show up to this one hole and there's like a little disc sitting by a tree, just leaning up there. I'm like, this is kind of sketchy. I walk up to it. It's an old relay, and I'd never seen an MVP disc. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. So I snagged it. There's no name on the back. I'm like, yeah, I hate to be that guy, but my thought is if I lose a disc and you go through the efforts and you find it, kudos, you can have it. So when I picked this disc up and I'm like, I've never even heard of this brand before. It literally looked just like his relay. He's got one too. And so when I threw it, I'm like, wow, like this is incredible. And this was probably, I don't know, 8 months ago maybe. And once I threw that, that's when I started looking up MVP. And then I got into hexes and envies. And then I started trying some other drivers. And all of a sudden I was only discraft before. And now I'm like, I'm in love with most of MVP stuff. So that's why I guess there's a lot of MVP because you're going to see even coming up, both of us carry a lot of MVP discs. But
yeah, I don't know what about it. I don't know what it is about it that I like so much. I don't know if it's just the way it feels in my hand or anything like that, just the type of plastic they use. I don't know what it is, but I like the way it feels when it releases out of my hand, the snap that I get from them. I'm not for sure, but
all right. We're back. We had
technical difficulties.
That's what I was thinking. Something technical was a little difficult, so we're back now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we're back on the fairway. I got the Crave, 6.5, 5, -1, 1. It actually flies pretty straight. I do have to put on a little bit of anhyzer for it to actually start coming out straight, and then it starts to die left.
Still new.
Yeah, still very new. I have to beat it in because it's
And I dyed it. Just take a look at that dye.
yeah,
I mean, these things are sick.
yeah. No, he's doing a really good job at dyeing these. And then I have, like we were talking about earlier, the relay. The relay is a very good beginner disc. I actually love this disc. This was the first fairway driver I actually had. That and I think it was the Maverick. I think I had, which I lost. I lost like
That was like the first disc you ever got.
yeah, it was the Maverick.
Yeah.
And that's when I actually started like really liking the game. And then just like how he has the FD C-line fairway, very good disc. It took me a little bit to actually get comfortable on holding it, but now I'm starting to feel comfortable holding it and everything like that. He also dyed this one too, but
It's kind of funny too when we talk about these discs, like the ones I don't throw, now I want to throw them. And I'm like, oh, I should start throwing this one more.
yeah,
And I don't use this one enough until I get out there, and then I'm like, I rely on the ones I know.
right. Which it kind of sucks too because we have these discs, we have so many discs, but we don't throw all of them because we're so comfortable in the discs that we do throw.
Which
But
is a habit we need to break.
right, we need to figure out what all of our discs do when we throw them. And I want to start throwing the FD more because of my form. My form is getting better. And so that my old form was garbage. And I could never get the torque and the spin to throw this properly. But now I'm getting to the point to where I can throw this. Another disc that I actually love a lot, which I don't know what it is about it, but this T-Bird.
We watch a lot of Foundation, and all they talk about is DX plastic, DX plastic. Is that even DX? I don't even know. It's base plastic.
It's base plastic, base of the base, and 7502. I know I was watching a Robbie C video a while back. Actually, not a while back. He posted it a couple days ago, and he was saying for beginners, you always want to find a disc that the turn and the fade when you subtract them or add them together, or whatever, always supposed to be in the negative. Well, this right here, if you do that, it's 2. It's a +2. But beaten in, this thing flips.
It's understable.
And it's so nice. It is such a nice disc. I'm barely throwing it, easily getting anywhere between 280 to 300 feet. Easy.
And it's got a reliable fade at the end too, which is nice.
Nice, just very reliable disc. That is my main go-to fairway disc.
All right, we got 9 speeds. You got any 9 speeds? Yeah, you got 2.
Yeah, I got 2.
I'm going to let Kelly start with 9 speeds.
9 speeds. I have, again, another MVP. I got an Insanity. 9.5, -2, 1.5.
It's a gorgeous disc.
Yeah. You dyed this one too?
No,
you didn't dye.
So I bought that one for, I don't know when I bought it. And I liked it, but it was only 157 grams. And for me, I felt like it was too light. I don't know. Something didn't feel right. So then I gave it to Kelly. And when Kelly was first learning how to throw, and he didn't have no reach back.
None. You can, if you see our TikTok or anything like that and go to our first videos and stuff, you see I had no reach back at all.
But that was the first disc I saw him throw where I almost saw like a kind of a full flight, where the disc wanted to do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, you should try and work on this. And now that he's got better form,
this actually almost flies pretty dead straight. And it just has that slight turn to the left on that right-hand backhand. Again, a very good disc. For beginners and stuff, if you are starting out and beginning, I wouldn't go anything higher than a 9-speed. Definitely start with our hexes, yes. Yeah. Just so you can get your form down, and then once you start over-empowering those, then go to fairways. The worst thing anybody can do is just immediately start at a 13-speed.
So my first disc was a destroyer.
My first discs that I bought, well, we'll get into it, but it was a 13-speed, and we'll get into it. And I still can't throw it correctly.
Well, what I would say too is instead of getting in my personal opinion, putters, almost if you're trying to learn how to grip a disc, I feel like a power grip is what I throw when I throw backhand regardless. I always throw a power grip no matter what, unless I'm putting. And for a putter, it's not as comfortable as a mid. So if you're trying to start and you're learning, in my opinion, a mid, even though it might not fly as well, I think it's more comfortable in the hand, and I think that's way more important than how the disc flies.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable doing anything, you can learn how to manipulate the disc and how to generate more arm speed. But I think comfort is number one. So in my opinion, like a hex, or I know a lot of people like buzzes, which I started with a buzz. That's something that I would try first, just because you want something that will slowly graduate you to like a thicker rim, and you're not going to get that out of a putter. So
No.
that's just my not to cut you off, but that's my
No.
opinion on the like disc choice for beginners.
Yes, and so I've never thrown a buzz, so I really don't even know how they feel, how they fly, how
Oh, I got
you
one.
know.
Oh, hold on. Timeout. I'm still here. Since you said that, I'm gonna let him, because I love comedy and I bought this. I had to buy this. I bought one and then one shipped for free. So that's a buzz, just so you can feel the rim.
Oh, see, yeah, I like that. That's nice. That's a good feel.
Okay, but when I hold the hex, I'm just like,
The hex feels the hex is a totally different animal. I mean, honestly, shout out to MVP because they made a gorgeous disc.
The real shout out is Bert, man.
Yeah, Bert, you can't go wrong with Bert.
I love it.
Bert Kreischer is the man.
But anyways, I don't even know. All right.
The other one I have, I hardly ever throw it. Is the Raptor, the Discraft Raptor. It's a 9403. You have to throw this on so much anhyzer just to make it go straight.
Yeah, it's a forehand disc, basically.
And it hits so hard left that if you don't have the speed to throw this properly, it ain't going to go nowhere at all. So
I'm starting off. I got only two 9-speeds.
Yeah.
And the first one, which another one that I dyed, and this is probably my favorite dye out of all of them,
looks so Hawaiian,
is the Falk. And I had never thrown its Castoplast. This is the K1 Soft, and I'd never even held one of their discs. And I buy everything online now. We have a store actually right near us in Hudson, or right where we're at, and they have tons of discs. You walk in there, it's filled. Sun King Discs, actually, they got a website too. You can buy stuff online, but
pretty popular.
I'd never seen this brand though, and when I bought the disc, it's not what I expected. It's flimsy, but this plastic is so soft and it feels so nice. And it's a 9.6 -2.1. So when I throw it, I'll throw it on a lot of hyzer, and that thing, it flips up and it rides slowly. It's gorgeous. So I just got it recently, but it's something now that I'm like, I'm gonna start throwing it all the time. And the dye is it's sick. So, and then I got an Insanity. I think this is like 170, 172. Because I was jealous he was throwing the Insanity and I wanted one, and his looks a little cooler, but it's nice. This is probably, when we went out to the field, I was throwing this just as far as the Catalyst, the Wave, and even I think the Wraith was my farthest one, but this one was like, it was up there. So that's something that I'm starting to get into now, and I'm happy. So that basically rounds out 9-speeds, and then we move into distance drivers, which I have 4 11-speeds, and I don't know why I carry so many distance drivers. In my head, they all do something different, kind of, but in reality, I don't ever get into the situation where I need to choose between 4 shots. So to start, I got a Cosmic Neutron Wave from MVP. It's supposed to be dead straight, but with the Cosmic Neutron, like your Insanity, their plastic is probably the most overstable for MVP. So this thing definitely has some bite at the end, but I like it. I like the feel in the hand. It's flat. It's comfortable, and it's something I don't throw enough. But I think I like the rims, 11 speed. So I'm gonna start throwing more of them instead of my 13s. And then I got right here a Wraith, and I don't like Innova really. I really don't like their drivers or nothing. I had a Destroyer, and it didn't do it for me. But this disc, I don't know. It's great, and it's already kind of understable, but it fights out at the end. So it's just something. This thing bombs. Like, this is my farthest throwing disc by far, and it is comfortable, but the flight it's gorgeous. After that, I got the Royal Grace and Latitude 64. I don't know. I was always Discraft and MVP, and I've started to venture out, and this plastic is incredible. I mean, it feels so good. The color's nice, and I love the rim. I mean, when I hold it, I just feel like I can bomb this thing. So it's kind of overstable to start, but basically for me, it pushes dead straight, and then at the end, it kind of fades out. But I think over time, it's going to beat in a little bit. It'll start fly kind of like my Wraith. It'll be a little flippy, and then it'll come back at the end. So I'm definitely going to have to get more of these because it feels the best. I've never held a disc that feels so nice. And then last for 11 speeds, I got a Photon. And when I was first throwing the Photon, I liked it. I was throwing it backhand. And I was starting to approach things differently. I was trying to start throwing more overstable discs, things that'll, just fade towards the basket. And I always would release this on hyzer, and I couldn't figure out how to release it flat. So I decided I'm going to put it in my bag, and I don't throw forehands a lot, but I think this would be a good forehand disc for me because I don't need a lot of distance. I need something, if I got a hole that's, to the right and I need to get over there, that's what I'm going to throw basically as a Photon. And it's not a typical shot in my bag. So, I mean, I just keep it around just in case I need it. But that's all I got for 11 speeds, and I only got 3 more discs.
Oh, we're doing 11 speeds?
Yeah, what you got?
The only 11 speed I have is a 8.
Oh.
And it's fresh, brand new. Actually, Nick got it for me for an early Christmas / birthday present. So, haven't thrown it yet. I threw his a couple times. I liked the way it felt, and I guess he decided to go out and give me one, which is very generous of him, and I really do appreciate it. It's a beautiful disc. Love the orange. It's like a orange creamsicle / sherbet color. It's amazing. But
that's gorgeous. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
My red one looks like looks bad.
Well, yours is also old. It's beat in, so it's
stuff.
But hopefully on the next couple other videos that we post and stuff, you'll see this thing flying in the air. So it'd be nice.
Yep, that's definitely something. When he threw it, and I don't know if it's the plastic. It's a Star Wraith, but it's understable out of the box, but it's got a nice flight. So when he threw it for the first time, I'm like, dude, I got to get you one. So I didn't tell him, and I kind of I was gonna wait till Christmas, but I'm like, we're gonna do it in the bag, and I'm excited.
So bad with gifts. You can't.
I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get this for you.
Can't hide the excitement.
But anyways, oh, you're on 12 speeds already.
Yeah, because you said distance driver. So
I don't have a single 12 speed in my bag.
I have
too many.
I have 3.
Yeah, that's a 13.
Yeah. So for 12 speeds and stuff like that, Hades, it's beat in. I got it used, but it's an amazing flight disc. If I throw it a little bit of anhyzer, it just makes a good S turn. I just think it's only because it's beat in. You actually have a new Hades, but
I had one Hades. When I started throwing the Hades, it was my furthest flying disc. But it got to a point where it went from like S curve, nice flight, to every time I threw it, it just burned into the ground and it would roll. And
right.
I was like, So then I bought a new one. No, I lost that one.
Yeah, you lost that one, but you bought a new one.
I had bought a new one anyways, and then I lost that one. So then I started throwing this new one, and I kind of learned I need to be a little touchy with it. But if I'm throwing like anything past 300 feet, I can't be touchy with that. I mean, which is probably something we need to learn.
Yeah.
How to kind of control our shots, but I'm just ripping. So
yeah,
I tend to just burn it into the ground. But Kelly's got a good release to where the Hades, it flies nice.
This is probably like my second furthest throwing disc that I can throw. Just about every time this releases out of my hand, I'm throwing 300 plus. I've never, once I started this new form, just by tapping on it, barely giving it any. I'm going at least max 340. I think is the farthest I've thrown on this so far. About 340. But
it's definitely a good disc.
And then the same time I bought this beat-in Hades, I bought this beat-in Zeus. Again, it's
kind of the same as the Hades.
It is, but it's just not as flippy. It don't flip as hard. But it does start going right, and then it goes left. But it goes left a lot harder than it does the Hades does. And then I have this new Zeus that I also got from Nick. You died this one, didn't you?
Yeah. Don't show that die, because that one I jacked.
No, I'm going to show it because it looks good. Yeah. So this one, I actually love this. This is actually so far this is my furthest throwing disc. I threw this, I can't remember the
348, I think it was.
Well,
here's my issue, though, with this, though. He's got 2 Zeuses, right? This it's beat in, but with his new form, he's now throwing this basically the same flight that this flies. So I'm telling him he needs to get rid of this disc and try something new. But I don't know, he's got some special hold on that disc. He wants it, but they basically almost fly the same. And this one's just, it's new. I mean, the plastic feels nice.
And it does. It's so much because I don't know. I don't know. I might just take this out and just keep this one in and just room for something else.
Yeah.
I am looking at other discs and stuff like that that I could possibly put in here that might help my game a little bit better. But
thing bombs.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what the feet was because, of course, I use a rangefinder and it does it by yards. What it was 117 yards.
Yeah.
Do the math on your own time. But that was my furthest throwing disc, and that's all I have for.
And it's crazy because I don't have that much. I don't feel like I have that much more power. I definitely throw a little bit further than Cole, but when I bought this Zeus, I had lost one, and when I bought this one, I was throwing it. It was throwing really good. I'd throw it on hyzer, and it would hold that line. I'm like, oh, this thing's like very overstable. You know, I'm never gonna have to get another distance driver. And then I don't know what I did, but all of a sudden I started turning it over again, and it's probably not even the disc. It's probably just my release. You know, I need to work on my release.
Yeah.
But when that happens and I burn it over, I mean, this thing, it went probably 330, and it straight to the right. I mean, it fade out at the end, and I said, I don't trust it anymore. And if I can't trust it, then I don't want it in my bag. That's why I said, you know what, take this, because I'm never gonna throw it again, and I don't think I'll ever buy another Zeus just simply because I can't trust it anymore, which is sad because I do like it and I like the plastic, but Kelly throws it good, so
yeah,
No,
I like it.
My loss is his gain.
And you can definitely tell in the videos and stuff like that you can definitely tell Nick he puts more into it. For me, I can't trust myself to throw it at my all. I feel like it's just I'm either going to throw it nose up, nose down. It's late release, everything. So I tried to just take my time and throw it. He has a good release, and stuff like that when he throws. But you can definitely tell in the videos that I do my steps. I'm making sure that I'm good and stuff, and because it is a new form, so I'm still trying to get that rhythm down of throwing it straight, not rounding, not doing an release or a late release. I'm trying to do my thing. So as of right now, it's a good disc for me. I feel
for
like.
Sure. What do you want? 13 speeds now?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna round out the bag. So basically, just to recap on our bags, tell them about your bag.
What this
yeah,
bag?
This man's like he should be extreme cheapskate.
All right,
he's got the coupon.
So I was at Sun King, and that's actually where I got the beat-in Zeus and the beat-in Hades. I was at Sun King, and I was walking around and stuff, and I seen this bag there, and I was talking to the lady that works there, and I asked her about this bag because I seen one up on the shelf, and it was brand new, and I think it was like $90, and I'm like, I'm not paying that because that's just expensive. But I seen the same exact bag, but it was on the ground, and I asked if that's a used bag, and she said yes. And I said, well, what's wrong with it? She said, the only thing wrong with it, I'll turn it, has a rip right here. Not too bad.
Easily stitched up.
Easily needs to be stitched up if I really want to. It's not that terrible. And she sold it to me for like $20. And this bag is actually phenomenal. Because right now this phone, what we're recording off of, is on a tripod. Has a little tripod holder. Clip it in. You could also use it for an umbrella or anything like that. Has a nice pocket. You could fit a nice big old drink in it. Has a netted pocket. I actually put a speaker in there. Then it has two little side pockets. I actually put my wallet or my keys or anything like that in there. Holds plenty of discs, I think, because right now I have, actually adding the Wraith and that new Envy,
24?
I have 24 discs. 24, and I can still fit more in here. I don't think it's rated for more than 24 discs.
No, you can manage though.
But for where I put my putters and stuff like that, I can easily put 4 putters in each pocket. And not to mention, plus, I think I can fit 20 in the bottom right here. It's a solid bag.
For $20, you can't beat it.
No, you definitely can't. Like I said, you can go on Facebook Marketplace. You can go on I don't even think they use Craigslist anymore.
No, I
But
wouldn't. Craigslist is sketchy.
yeah, but you can find, especially for new beginners like myself, I was looking at used discs, just to get started because honestly, I don't want to spend 18, 20, $24 on a new disc and never learn it. I'd rather spend. I think this Zeus I paid $10 for it. I paid $10 for that Zeus when this brand new
22
one
probably.
was $22.
Yeah.
And the Hades I spent $8. So it's always good to especially broaden your horizon on other discs that may possibly help you. Not necessarily so you don't buy a new disc and be like, man, I don't like the disc. I just wasted $22 on it. And be like, I just wasted $8 on a disc. I'm not the big fan of it. So let's try it out. Let's try something different.
That's my biggest problem. I get impulsive and I start buying discs.
Yeah, and then you don't use half of them.
Yeah,
so,
but then you get them. So
right, so it works out for me
yeah.
again for my cheapskateness. my cheapness. I'm like Mr.
Nah,
Krabs.
he's smart. He's smart because when my first disc I bought was a Destroyer, and I'm like, oh, this is it. And I bought it at Dick's Sporting Goods back in Mass, and I don't know, like $20, $22 or something. And I'm like, this thing don't throw right, so then I literally strictly played forehand, and I'm like, this is no fun. And then when I started, I got a Buzz was my second disc, and I wish I had them. I should. I don't know where they even went. And then I started learning how to throw backhand, and then that Destroyer started. It was okay. I mean, it was overstable, but I could throw it. But I'm definitely. I mean, I'm in a lot better place now. But I just have a problem going online and just buying discs. I mean, and I get so excited in 4 days they're at my door, and I just get to open the box and feel the plastic, and I say, oh, this one's not that nice. I toss it in the closet and never see it again.
If you would like to tell them what you just bought that's on pre-order right now, and then you're probably
I got a time lapse coming in, which I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I have like 3 discs that do the same thing. But I had to buy a time lapse, and I didn't buy one of the $200 time lapse. I just got the base, the stock Neutron time lapse, and that thing's going to be sick. And that will never come out of my bag just because I love Simon and
He's a beast.
And the MVP. I don't know. I won't take that out of my bag, but that'll probably replace the Photon. Honestly, because 11, 12 speed, they're all the same when you're throwing forehand. It's the same numbers. It's basically a Destroyer for MVP, so that don't affect nothing. But I'm probably not going to throw it backhand. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? My bag, I don't really know nothing about. I think it's cool. I thought it looked cool. That's why I bought it. And I want a Squatch bag or a grip bag. I can't help it, but they're way too expensive. And every time I go to buy one, I'm like, nah, I can buy like 10 new discs.
Yeah.
So I might as well just, keep on chugging with this thing. I mean, it holds up nice. I got pockets on the side. I got a water bottle holder. I don't know. I probably carry 22 discs, and I could carry more if I wanted to. I don't feel the need to. So that's basically my bag, and I love the colors, so that's why I got it. And it's sick. But that tropical one is pretty legit too.
Yeah, and you can find those on Amazon. I think they go for like $80, $85,
Yeah.
which still isn't bad for the way the bag is. You can hold so many discs, but I'm in a beginner's point of view. You don't need 24 discs. You don't.
I don't need 24 discs. I don't think anyone needs 24 discs.
Honestly, you don't need that many discs because I guarantee you, in any video that we have, we throw maybe half of these.
Yeah,
we don't. And there's certain days, we might throw the other half and stick on those, but either way, you're mainly throwing.
Yeah, basically, if I
discs.
pick up a driver, every hole I'm going to that driver.
Right.
I don't know why. I just feel comfortable.
We're not. And like I was saying before, I just started using that Paradox, only because I started getting comfortable with it. I'd go off camera and I'd go throw by myself at the field that we were throwing before. And then I started getting comfortable with it. That's the reason why we need more field work. We need to learn what these discs do,
right?
So we can actually throw more, and stuff like that. But as a beginner, don't go all out and just buy 30 discs. Go out, buy a couple, putting approaches, buy some good putters, maybe a couple mid ranges, but don't go and buy distance drivers and some fairway drivers,
especially something overstable.
Yeah,
you got to stay away from stability. But like when we get into 13 speeds, now this is where it becomes an issue because we both have a Catalyst.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's the numbers. I don't know. People say the flight numbers don't matter. A lot of my discs, maybe because I don't have that much arm speed, they're pretty true. But like this Catalyst is a 13.5 -2.2. People would consider it understable. I mean, it'll turn for me if I put it on Anheuser, but it just wants to finish left. And that's just, I think that's where we're at with distance drivers. We don't have the full power to really crank on a disc.
Yeah, I mean that was so mean because yeah, this finished less, but for this disc, I don't know if it's because of different plastic or anything like that, but it's actually pretty stable. And when I throw it, and just stable flight, probably about 90% all the way through, and then that last 10%, it just cuts left hard. I've never had it go right. Maybe a little bit of tailwind, it might go a little right and then left, but other than that, that's just about it.
It's a nice disc though. We both,
It
I
is
don't know,
very
we
nice
both started
disc.
throwing it like, what was it, the second video? No, we went to one course, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and we both started throwing it, and all of a sudden we fell in love.
It was Champions Point.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
like, this disc is legit.
It was nice.
And then what, you got one more 13.
Yeah. So
Is this 13?
Yeah, it's a 13. So this disc right here is the one I was talking about. I bought with my own money. It wasn't a hand me down. It wasn't. I actually went out and got it at Dick's Sporting Goods. And it's a Innova de Dallas. I used to have a Katana, which was also Innova, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it. I loved it. I don't know what it was really beat in.
It was
So-
like the same base plastic.
Yeah, so I feel like I was able to just throw it, really well because it was beat in. So I wanted something. It broke. I hit a tree. I smacked the tree so hard, and I think it broke in half. So I wanted something to replace it, and so I got this Daedalus, and I can't throw this thing worth nothing. As soon as it comes out of my hand, it's going left.
That was actually one of the first distance drivers I started with too. After the Destroyer was the Daedalus, and
Right.
I could get it to turn sometimes, but that thing's brand new, and obviously this was
Yeah.
4 years ago, so who knows what they did to the disc, and if they changed something or the plastics are different now, and so it probably just throws different. But
Yeah.
I think that's a disc that just needs to be beat in, and once it gets beat in, it's going to be
good.
understable, but it'll have a reliable finish.
Yeah.
What do I got? I got an Octane. The Octane just kind of came into my bag recently for no good reason. I've been talking about maybe a distance forehand driver, and this is probably just going to stay in there until I get that time lapse. I'll throw it backhand, but typically it's overstable. So if I'm going backhand, which I never used to throw this disc, I'm going with the Nuke. I bought this disc a while ago, and the first time I tried to throw it, it just dug right into the ground, went about 150 feet. And I said, I'm never throwing this disc again. Now I have more power, and the more I throw it, it's so reliable. Even if I put it on Anheuser, it does what I need it to do. I mean, if I need to just get left, this thing does it, but it actually flies better now. Like I get distance out of it. So I love this disc now. It's definitely, it's not leaving the bag. It's going to be, my main overstable distance driver. So that's basically it, So we both definitely recap. We carry too many discs,
100%.
but we're learning. Even though I have 3 years, I'm learning. I never took it serious. I just went out and played with friends, had a couple beers and chilled. But now I'm taking it kind of serious, and we don't do tournaments and nothing. I think that's something we both talked about.
Yeah.
Eventually getting into. But for now, with our work schedules, we work weekends, so
Right.
any tournament is basically out the window. So for us, it's just trying to get better, and we're starting to fall in love with the process of the game.
Yeah.
And that's something we didn't feel. I never felt before. So now that I'm doing that, my whole mindset has changed. The way I look at discs, the way I approach things, the way I'm trying to work on my form. I would have never done that before. I was just going out and having fun.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to take it serious and really make something out of it, especially if we're going to be doing YouTube, because who wants to see two guys that
Bunch of bozos just trying to throw a disc and ain't going nowhere.
we suck, and you watch us for 2 years later and we still suck.
Right.
So hopefully the goal is to get better. But that basically wraps it up. It's sad we were supposed to get out and play, and it's still pouring right now. We might try to get out tomorrow. If not, I know we got the holidays coming up, so if I don't get a chance to make a video, both of us want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We're going to be spending time with family, so we're probably not going to be around. You might not hear anything. But after that coming up, we'll probably get a couple things going before Christmas, and then
Yeah.
take the holidays off. Spend some time with family. That's what's more important at the end of the day. With our
100%.
jobs, we're working a lot, and we don't get enough time to tell our family we love them and spend time with them. So I think that's what we're gonna do this the holiday season. You got anything else for them?
I mean, you pretty much
I know
hit
I
it.
kind of just I
No,
started rolling.
no, you're good. You hit it right on the, hammer on the head.
But if you think that these discs are, I mean, you guys, if you now you're starting to see like our arm speeds and everything. So if you think that these discs are a little out of our range and we need to try something else, let us know, because I have no problem buying discs. So I'm gonna, if you tell me to buy a disc, I'm most likely just gonna go buy it and I'm gonna start throwing it. So if you have any suggestions, especially we're in two different stages of the game.
Yeah.
So obviously, a disc for him might not work for me, and vice versa. So any ideas, let us know. If you want to see us do, maybe bring some of our friends from work in, some other guys, and maybe start playing little tournaments and stuff. Like I said, we're gonna do best shot doubles, me and Kelly. So just anything else. I mean, we're gonna try and keep you guys on your toes. We just want to get established, but I think we're on a good path, and I know it's a process, but we're getting more comfortable on camera, and we're starting to really enjoy it. I mean, we look forward to every week. We do it on Thursdays. We go out and we film and we play disc golf, have a good time. So make sure you guys like, subscribe. We got like 10 subscribers now, so we're on our way, to 20. So maybe at 20 subscribers, I'll buy myself a disc. And other than that, man, comment, tell your friends, let them know, and be sure to tell us what you guys think.
Yeah,
So
and then also, like, for people that have been playing for a while, if you guys do watch our videos and stuff like that, comment down below saying what disc that you like. And even for beginners, people that start out just like me, maybe you guys can give me some pointers and stuff like that. Maybe, hey, there's another disc that you actually might be able to throw, judging by your arm speed or your form and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to comment. Give us some ideas and stuff.
Yep.
We're gonna have more content coming in. Definitely different stuff. Like you said, doing the best out of two. The shots and everything like that, doing the postures and everything. So it's definitely gonna be coming our way. It'll be more entertaining for you guys.
for sure. All right, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is ChainGang Disc Golf.
Deuces.
Yes, sir.